Hey, so I'm quickly making this video before I forget some journaling. I'm journaling to Lisa A. Romano 12-week breakthrough program, and I realized I just had a breakthrough about certain things in my life that are affecting me to this day, as an adult. So, what I found that is affecting me is that I was journaling a question about if my parents expected me. No, it says if my parents encouraged me to be obedient and to just follow everything that they said and rules and whatever. And I'm looking at it like my childhood, they were just very laxing, which was very confusing to me, right? There were no rules, there was no sense of direction, it was just a lot of neglect. I spent a lot of time by myself. I spent a lot of time with nobody to talk to. And what I realized was that you know how you're a child, right? And your caretakers or your parents are supposed to guide you. You're supposed to be your role models. Supposed to, but a lot of them sometimes are not, right? And so what I've noticed after journaling this, I wrote 2 pages. I've noticed that there were no rules. There was no schedule. No, you had to go to sleep at this time. You have to do homework at this time. Or you could only watch TV for this certain amount of time. It was none of that. And I wouldn't say necessarily that they expected me to be obedient because, like I said, it was very laxing. I spent a lot of time by myself. I also went to after school programs. My father was mostly working. Sometimes my mother was at home. Sometimes she worked a couple of days. But even when she was home, there was no really emotional involvement between us. And there was also no physical or spiritual involvement, right? Even when my father was home as well, we didn't really engage with each other. He was in his room watching TV. I was most likely in my room with my sister, either just watching TV or playing with toys, or mostly not even talking to each other. Because I did not have the best relationship with my sister growing up. And my mother would just be at the kitchen or fixing stuff or cleaning stuff or on the phone, right? So like I said, I wrote about it that I realized that they only expected me to be obedient when I, for whatever reason, got angry, felt sad, felt lonely, was scared, felt unprotected, unsafe, felt rage, felt anger, anxiety, right? And as a result of that, I would want to challenge whatever they were telling me. And so I was trying to fight back. Obviously, they would, especially my mother, I would say mostly my mother, she will go into a rage and she will basically use intimidation to just shut me down and then compare me to my older sister where I can't be like her and be quiet and stop doing X, Y, and Z, whatever the case may be. So I put one and two together that is just very confusing to me and for a child, right? So I feel like this is a bit of a breakthrough. It's very confusing for a child to receive this kind of messages because there was no sense of direction. It was just a lot of emotional neglect, like I said, physical neglect, even spiritual neglect. I did not, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to be. I didn't know what to do. So I feel like that spilled over to my adulthood because oftentimes I find myself directionless. I find myself, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to be because they never told me, like I wrote here, they never encouraged me to be anything, to be honest. I wouldn't say that they encouraged me to be obedient because they never outright said that. It was a very weird dynamic in which things were not spoken in a healthy way. It was more so just a lot of neglect. I didn't know who to be or what they expected me. Or what to expect. They never really guided me with anything. It was very directionless. I was severely ignored and not thought in high regard. There was no rules set in place. There was no chores, assignments, like you clean dishes, you do that. No, there was no set up sleeping schedule either or homework schedule or anything else or any real sense of discipline, right? So, like I said, it's just made me feel like, yeah, it makes sense. I understand now why I struggle with setting goals. I understand why I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going as the wind blows because that's the type of environment that I grew up in. I was also the scapegoat. I was also the invisible lost child. And I was also the rebel I was the only one that challenged my parents. I realized that my sister didn't really challenge them. And guess what? Today, I'm the one that left and she's still there. So I guess that helped me a bit. But yeah, I just realized that there was it was just mixed signals, It was more so very hot and cold, but mostly cold. Um, there was no closeness. There were no really real conversations, vulnerability, none of that. So that makes sense as to why I have all these issues. Like the connection is there, and I just thought I wanted to share that because I feel like it's an amazing breakthrough for me to realize that, because it's just like it makes sense. It makes sense why I feel lost. It makes sense why I feel like I don't know what to do with my life or what career I want to do or whatever the case may be. It makes so much sense. And why all of that is spilled into like even your money expenses, habits, because you didn't cultivate any healthy habits. Like I remember when I had lived in the Dominican Republic. I was born in US, but I lived there for a couple of years. When I was there, the adults actually would have you like do chores. I used to like cleaning. I used to like being in the kitchen, right? Once I came over to the US again and reunited with my family because we were separated at some point, I realized something. When I wanted to do like chores and help around the house, my mother would tell me no. She didn't want me to help, and then she would at the same, time, she would then say that I was lazy. So basically, this is how they confuse you mentally and spiritually, okay? Because how am I lazy, but I was asking you to help? Because I was used to doing it in the yard. And then once I came back here again and reunited with my father and my sister here, and then my mom also, that's when, like, they didn't teach me any life skills. Because, again, wanting to keep me dependent and dumb and submissive and, not wanting me to become self-sufficient. And so, again, she would complain about that she had kids for them to help her, but when I offered to help out, she would tell me no. And she would never, oh, come here, let me teach you how to cook that. It was never none of that. It was to keep me as dependent, as dumb as they could possibly put me in. And then, so then she could turn around and say, and call me dumb, which is so confusing and is so disgusting for narcissistic people to do this. But I hope that this video serves well, and that you guys are able to make some kind of connection. I just freestyle because I was like, boom, this is a breakthrough.